Hello, everyone, and welcome to Different Stages Radio. I'm your host, JJ, broadcasting in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. And today we have for you a phenomenal singer-songwriter you know from such bands as Grand Prix, McAuley Schenker Group, Survivor, Black Swan, just to name a few. He's about to release his brand new solo album, Soulbound, on February 28th on Frontiers Records. Please welcome my guest, Robin McAuley. How are
Good
you?
morning, JJ. Good morning, Different Stages Radio. It's a pleasure to be here. Hello, Canada.
It's awesome to have you. Now, what's going on here? You've been so active the last, I'd say, particular maybe 8 to 10 years. Not that you were never, ever inactive, but just, you're about
Uh,
to release your third solo album in 4 years. You have two Michael Schenker Fest albums under your belt. You have two Black Swan albums under your belt. The Schenker Fest tours. What's going on?
yeah, I'm like an active volcano. I was sleeping for a while, and now it's time for a little eruption. And just since you're on the subject of Black Swan, number three in the can, ready to be mixed. So number three Black Swan with Frontiers, number three solo with Frontiers. So that would make six with Frontiers in the last same amount of years. So I'm busy. I'm loving it. Um, I suppose it would be fair to segue into this by saying that because we did a lot of the Michael Schenker fests and the festivals in Europe, there was a lot of promoters who came out to check out the shows. And I got the call very soon afterwards going, what? No Macaulay Schenker songs? What? No Macaulay Schenker songs in the set? And they were all kind of put out a little bit and going, are you interested in coming in as a solo artist and doing some sort of club kind of dates? But we really have to hear Macaulay Schenker period songs. And I started laughing and I'm going, well, that's kind of funny at this stage. And then they said, of course, you add in your solo stuff if you want to add in Grand Prix stuff and yada, yada, yada. Off we went to the races, excuse me. And so they first promoter came out of the UK in October last year, and I headlined a Firefest festival, indoor festival in Manchester in the UK. And I surprised everybody by bringing in the two main writers with myself from Grand Prix, Mick O'Donoghue and Phil Lanson. And they joined me on stage for like Samurai and Keep On Believing and Shout. And people were going, oh my God, it's been, and none of us had performed. Oh my God, look at that. Oh man. And I signed it. Look at that. None of us had actually performed any Grand Prix material outside of the realm of the band in, dare I say it, 40 years. And now suddenly, bam, here you go. And people are going, damn, dude, it sounds like the record. And I'm going, well, we're old. We're not that old. And so off it went. I just did Sweden a couple of weeks ago. That went amazing. And now I've been invited back to Sweden. I have almost a month long of dates that we're still adding to for the UK. I will play the Monsters of Rock cruise in the next couple of weeks with Michael Schenker. That's March 10 through 15. And then I also will perform at the Frontiers Rock Festival, the record label, in Milan on April 27th. And then we're going to add, I think, 5 or 6 shows from Italy into Spain. I've got shows in Munich, Germany. And I just got added this morning some more Swedish shows come October. I will also play Sweden in August, and then I'll go back again in October. So suddenly I was at home seeing how many roses I could prune in a day, and now I don't have time. Yeah, and it's amazing. It's just, and I love it. I still love the live performance. I love the festivals, and just like being in a room with a band, and you know,
Well,
I'm blessed.
yeah,
I'm
it's right
blessed.
all over your face.
Yeah, I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I'm up, and my voice is, thank God, voice is still good, and that's the key factor. As long as the voice is there, I'm good. I'm good. I feel pretty healthy and all of that sort of stuff.
Well, that's the thing I think about your voice, and that was going to be one of my questions. Is that I would argue that not only is it as strong as ever, it's possibly stronger than ever. And I was
It
wondering,
is. It
are you?
is, and my range keeps going up, and I'm going. This is
Yeah,
not supposed to happen because I am 72 years of age. Yeah,
but do you?
I never thought I'd hear myself saying that, but
No doubt. But do you think it's just lucky good genes, or do you take good care of it?
oh, it's I have a care package. I have to. I can't just do whatever the hell I want, as much as I might want to. Um, for me, for a very long time, the show is numero uno. It has to be. It comes front and center. Um, touring is not kind on the vocals. I think most singers will tell you that tour buses are not kind on the voice. So pre-show, post-show, I'm I'm in silent mode, because if you've been around bands, singers, and the singer goes down, typical singers. So we get it in the neck, and it's not a good idea to sing from the neck, by the way, or the throat. So I take great care of it. I'm always humidifiers, steam, vocal mist, no alcohol. I've never smoked in my life, so um, uh, that works for me. Maybe it doesn't work for somebody else, but that's what makes it work for me. And so, what do we say? If it works, don't fix it. Right.
Now, has it been a blessing or a bit of a, no, I don't want to say a curse, but with the Michael Schenker Fest touring, as well as when you were doing Raiding the Rock Vault, is it nice to have kind of those breaks in between songs, or is it kind of hard to keep the momentum going? Does it give you a
I
chance
think
to tease or?
that's a great question because let's go to Raiding the Rock Vault. So I was permanent. I was one of the original lineup of Raiding the Rock Vault, and I did a solid 7 years in Vegas at 5 nights a week. We used to do 6 nights a week, and yes, we broke it up with different singers, so you got a little break in between your set, but then we would also be up adding to all of the other singers, whether it was background vocals or co-lead vocals or that sort of stuff. Um, Fast forward into Michael Schenkerfest, more of the same stuff. You would sing 5, 6 songs of your own set, then join Gary and Graham and Doogie. Michael Schenker alone, all of the gigs last year, all of the shows last year from the UK to Sweden Rock, Barcelona Rock, all of that, 2 hour shows, solid 2 hours, one singer. Um, and with Michael, you're going at full tilt. You're out the gate, so you better be ready. You better be in shape. No breaks, except when he would play a 17-minute solo on Rock Bottom.
That's
So,
inevitable. That's inevitable.
but an amazing solo on Rock
Yes,
Bottom.
yes.
So that's the difference. You have to be ready for all scenarios. Um, and if you take airy voice, the best you can hope that when you knock on the door it will be there to open it for you and do your stuff, and it's all to do with um you know it's kind of there's a regiment attached to it, how you pace yourself, how you sing properly, sing from the right place, um and don't oversing. It's the oversinging that in a lot of cases with singers it's just going to take you down sooner, and whispering is really bad for the vocal.
Hmm.
If you think whispering because if I speak quietly, it's going to do, I won't hurt my voice. You actually do because you're putting extra strain on the vocal muscles to now project what is not a full voice but a whisper so that people can actually hear it. So just speak in normal, quiet tones, and yeah,
That does
hopefully
make more sense though, because yeah, you're definitely putting in more effort to lower that voice,
that's
and
exactly what it is. And
it's not
people go,
natural.
"Oh, I never thought of that." So, and that's what you're doing. You're working harder for less effect. Oh, that's basically. So anyway, that was a free vocal lesson this morning.
But to carry on vocals, you've had your son Casey contribute to your
Yes,
albums. How's
Casey's
that? That
done.
must be a nice treat.
Oh, he's awesome. He's a great guitar player, and he's a great singer, and he loves the studio. He didn't perform on Soulbound, and he was like so put out of place. He got married, he got married, and he has a beautiful wife, and he just made us grandparents for the first time.
Congratulations. That's
So
awesome.
we have a 6 week old.
Oh, wow.
So
Brand new.
yes, brand new. Um, Robert Arthur McAuley, very grandiose.
No
Um,
doubt.
yeah, he was disappointed he didn't get on this one, and he also sang on the first two Black Swan.
Yes.
So he loves the studio. Absolutely loves being around Jeff Pilson. I mean, Jeff and I have known each other. Oh my God, since I think 89, 90, because he did the Unplugged tour with us way
Yes.
back. And Jeff was also best man at our wedding too. So there's an additional connection between Jeff and our family. And
He's
I
just a
love,
class act.
there's not enough things we don't have enough time for me to to praise the ground for Mr. Pilson. And a great engineer, great musician, great songwriter, and an absolute blast to work with.
Well,
You
that's the
know,
thing. I think most people just think of him as a bass player, and it's like, no,
oh,
production,
he's much more.
like,
Oh no,
studio
he's
guy,
so much.
incredible, and voice.
Oh
Guy's
yeah, so
got
much
a
more. Oh my
great
God.
voice.
Yeah, and it's when I'm in doing the Black Swan stuff, um, I'll come in with my vocals and my lyrics and my melodies, and he will already have received the demos from me, if you will, the rough vocal, and he goes, "I got some great ideas for this part," and his ideas are always just great, and it's amazing because people say to me, "How do you do a solo record and you have that sound on the solo record, and you move over to a Black Swan thing, and it's unmistakably, you know, quintessentially Black Swan."
Mhm.
And I said, it's the same thing, you're making dinner, different veggies in this will make a different, different recipes. And it's a lonely life being a solo artist because it's just me. I have a new producer on this third record, Aldo Lenobile, who's the new in-house guy for Frontiers. Alessandro Del Vecchio left the label, but not before he co-wrote at least 2/3 of this third record, and we pushed. I wanted to include a lot more of my guitar player that I've used on the first two. I always call him my guitar player
Oh, he's a
because
guitar player.
because he's been very integral part of the sound for Standing on the Edge, Into Alive, and now on Soulbound. Yes, sir. Thank you very much. So Andrea Cerveso is just a great guitar player.
Mhm.
Love his tone, love his melodies, and I really wanted to push him much more up front and center. So he got a lot more involved with the writing on this one, and he shines on this one. He's playing some great stuff on here. And just to add to that, come April 27th, I will play the Frontiers Rock Festival in Milan. And now I get to play with the whole band. New drummer on this one, Alfonso Morcerino. Morcerini, great drummer. Some keys on there with Antonio Agate. Soulbound, I wrote with two Swedish writers, Teresa Persson and Jan Ackerson. Great song. The, very different song than the rest of the record. Loved the title. I wanted to steal the title and use that. So yeah, it was a
No,
great process.
these,
Aldo,
these are ridiculously good albums. Like they're not just kind of good. Like they're
thank you.
yeah, like it's
Thank you. And Standing on the Edge, I never wanted to
front to
do.
back too. It's not just yeah, a couple singles are okay. It's like no, these are strong albums front to
Thank you.
back. Yeah.
Yeah, and I never wanted to do it because Frontiers came on me and were going, "Hey, we'd love you to do a solo record." And I went, who's going to listen to a Robin McAuley solo record? And I went, no, think about it. And I didn't. I refused to do it. And in the interim, Jeff Pilson comes in and he goes, "Hey, Frontiers were on the phone going, put a super group together." And I'm going, "Well, why are you calling me?" And I said, what a dumb title, super group. And he goes, I know. I hate it too. And I said, "Who else is doing it?" And he says, "Well, Reb's going to do it because Reb was on Tooth and Nail with Dokken." And I says, "And you're doing it?" And he goes, "No, I'll be producer and I'll be sort of in the background supervising and I'll get involved with the writing, but no, I won't be playing." And I went, "Well, there's the deal breaker right there."
Blame Jeff for all this.
So we
It's
blame Jeff.
Jeff's fault.
Yeah, so we did Shake the World, and then before you know it, I'm doing the first solo record and
Mhm.
third one out the gate. Ah, that's
There you
good
go.
stuff. That's
Very
good. If you like that, I think you're absolutely going to love this third record.
Do we have a
It
title for it?
We do not have a title. No. And I just got the roughs from Jeff maybe 3 days ago. Um, I was in Mexico doing some shows and I checked my email and I went, here it comes. And I'm going, oh my God, I want to listen to this now. I didn't get the chance until I came home. And now tomorrow I leave for Mexico again for more shows. Um, and I did get a chance yesterday to just slap the cans on and crank it. And it's all in rough mix. It's all in the can. It's just out for mixing now. Although I believe we'll be mixing this. Um, and I can't wait. And there's some, yeah.
So
Oh,
is Jeff mixing this one or not? Or
no, Jeff
no?
just does not want to mix. He
Okay.
doesn't want to mix. In fact, when he sent the roughs in, he goes, as you listen, make your comments, but as you can hear, this is why I don't mix a record. And I'm going, you're way too modest. you know,
Totally. No,
way too modest, way too modest. No, he wants to, he'll make his notes and he'll work very close, as will Reb. Those guys have just got great ears, and I will listen, and I'll stick my 10 cents worth. Too many cooks, and I absolutely trust what they do. And if I make a comment, their comment to me is, "You deal with the artwork. I'm not dealing with the
okay.
artwork." So album one and two, I was very involved with how that finished looks, and it can't be. It would be remiss of me not to mention Stan Decker, who did the artwork on Black Swan one and two. The dude is just. And for my own, I use the same graphic artist, Nello Del Oma, for all three records, and what a what talent! I mean, I can't praise these guys enough. I'm so in awe of people who can just take an idea and go, yeah, got it. And then they hand this back to you. And I'm going, I want to be able to do that.
You weep a little bit and you're a little bit.
Oh, dude, it's like you think you sing a song and people go, dude, that's pretty cool. And I look at the artwork and I go, no, that's cool. you know, yeah. There's been some amazing graphic artists over the year, even a long time before it became digitized, before we had Photoshop and all of that. These guys were, illustrators,
A
just
pencil and paper, that's still where it's at. Yeah.
just amazing,
Yeah.
amazing, amazing. That's talent. That's
Totally.
real. That's real
Now, with
talent.
these Black Swan albums, do you guys have a chance to really get in the studio together at all, or are these all done remotely?
So it's I get into the studio with Jeff. So basically what happens is you know, I'm in LA, Jeff's in LA, Matt's in Connecticut, Reb is in Pittsburgh. So Reb comes in and Reb comes in, works with Jeff, gets all the music down. Um, they plow through this stuff. It's amazing. Reb will spend maybe a week, 2 weeks here, and they are like machines, right? And it's heads down. And as they're churning it out, whether it's in a rough format or whatever it is, it may have guitars, it may not have finished guitars, they'll just keep sending the stuff to me. And they go, it's in, here it comes. No rush, no rush, always no rush, but can we have it tomorrow?
Always the way.
and it comes to me, I sit with it, and as fast as I can deal with lyrics and melodies and try to be creative, I demo here at home, and then I send it back through the wonderful universe of technology. And they make their comments. I come in and I sit with Jeff. We do a little bit of pre-production, um, and the mics are already set up. It's like, oh, let's go, and off we go, and we get it done. And I usually deal with as much of the vocals as I can. I do all my own lead vocals, obviously, do all the backup vocals. And then Jeff goes, yeah, don't sing this. I think we need a little color here. So Jeff will jump in, or Red might jump in there. Matt has great vocals. I don't know if Matt sang on this one. And then, fortunately, on this record, didn't happen on Generation Mine because of I think pandemics and locales. Matt moved from LA to Connecticut with his family. But on this one, he came in, he worked with Jeff on this too. Jeff likes to be up close and personal and miking those drums himself. And so this time it was kind of everybody in the same place at the same time. Not exactly, but we were all in the studio this time, even at different times. Doesn't work like that with me, unfortunately, for solo stuff because all the guys are in Italy. But I do use consistently the same studio engineer, Andy Zuckerman, that I use on Standing on the Edge,
Hmm.
excuse me, and Alive. Andy lives pretty close to me, so as soon as he knows I'm coming, the mics are set up, and he goes, same format. We're happy with it. We're good to go. What's laughable about that, I tell everybody, is, I get all of the stems that come in from Italy. All the tracks are broken down, bass drums, guitars. And then I'll go to Andy, and there's no rough vocal on it. So Andy is clueless as to what it is. What are you singing? And is which part here is the verse and which is the. So we have to map it out as we go, and then he lines up the tracks and he goes, oh, okay, let's go. So it's kind of funny in
Bit of a puzzle.
the little bit of a puzzle, but we get it done and we have a ton of fun doing it, and I'm ready to go because it's mapped out. I have it all put together, and then I come in, I map it out for Andy, and he's great engineer. He puts it all in there together, and I'm already dialed in from before, so there's not too much of a delay. I don't like hanging around the studio. Because I'm kind of anxious, even at this stage.
Hey,
I just want to get it done. I go like, can we do this? And I don't like too much chit chat before. I just, again, all to do with the vocal. I'm ready. I'm in my ready to record mode. I'm a pain in the ass.
but you know what you want? You're in your zone and you want to deliver. Let's go. No
Well,
harm
I
in
think
that.
I think when it's done, I can chat as much as you want.
Yeah,
But at this point,
I gotta stay focused.
I
Focus.
have to stay
Yeah.
focused and just do what it is and keep it real, and then we'll talk and go, hey, what's going on? Yeah, yeah, we'll do the socializing after the
There you
the,
go.
the
Now,
job's done.
now with the Black Swan, you said no working title yet, but is there a rough release date or
And I'm trying to figure
or
out. I mean, if you given the fact that it's almost the end of February, my Soulbound will come out February 28th. Um, I'm assuming now that we got the rough tracks and there's no more changes to be made, the guys put in some suggestions just for levels, so that when Aldo gets it, it's pretty set up. Um, Given that it's February, I think I'd be kind of correct to say I wouldn't expect it until kind of around the fall, maybe October, November. I don't think you'll see it before that because artwork has to be put in place, all the liner notes, the package, the
exactly?
printing. There's a lot, but I would hope kind of fall-ish. I hope we don't wait till 26. I don't think they will. I would hope pre. Yeah,
Seems
I
pretty
think
realistic. I could
that,
see a single dropping over summer and with a
yeah,
full
I would hope. That's what we usually do. I've dropped what, three
three.
singles so far.
Yeah, three.
Um,
We got Soulbound, Till I Die, and Wonders of the World.
The Wonders of the World, and one more to come with the physical drop of the album on the 28th. Yeah. So, and I'll be doing a live Facebook stream today called Talk Shop Live if anybody wants to check in. And there's a lot of giveaways and a lot of where you can go to get your stuff.
Nice.
And it's also up on the official link, of course, on my official Facebook page, Instagram, Frontiers Music SRL, and everything you need to know about
Well,
me and every other band on the label will be on there.
well, that's good places. Now, so you mentioned you're going to be doing some solo shows again, which is exciting to do, covering your solo material as well as the Macaulay Schenker period. Might we see a Black Swan show maybe at some point? Is
Oh,
that possible?
the million
I
dollar
know, I
question.
know. Well,
Yeah,
I don't like
so
the tour, but I thought maybe at like a Firefest kind of situation.
well, I think I've always said it. I think the festival forum would be a perfect stage, no pun intended, or pun intended, to launch a band like Black Swan. A lot of people in the same place at the same time would be the best way to, this is who we are, here we go. Um, there is, funnily enough, the Monsters of Rock cruise coming up in a couple of weeks in March. Um, Reb will be there with Winger. Matt Starr will be there with, I can't remember whom. I'll be there with MSG, and we're getting this array of comments going. So, can we expect a surprise Black Swan set? And I'm going, nobody's told me anything, but they're basically going, there's 2/3 of the band here. Can't you just get Pilson in and put this to rest? Jeff's crazy, busy. I'm not expecting him to be there, but if something happens, it would really depend on Reb. If he, because Reb likes to be
Well, so I'm
full
thinking
on.
you could get Reb to ask Kip maybe, and there you go. You're golden. You don't
Well,
bass player.
there is that, but it's like Reb does not like how does it go? It's we're very picky when it comes
Okay.
to, if you're gonna do it right. Not like half-assed. It has to be rehearsed. It's like going, because then people will go, didn't sound anything like Black Swan. So you have that, and it's it might sound straight ahead classic rock music, but it's pretty complex in
Oh,
places. So
definitely.
so there's a lot of little intricacies, and Reb's just a master at all of that. So um, if it was rehearsed, we would do it. And I haven't rehearsed yet, but yeah, I can't answer that just yet.
I'm
But it would be
feeling there
good.
like yeah, I'm feeling there might be maybe a song or two, maybe not a full set, but maybe like a bit of a jam, maybe with a song, maybe. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see. It would be killer. I mean,
Keep people keep people in suspense.
would be awesome. It would be awesome. Yeah.
Okay, well, I won't keep you much longer, but I wanted to ask about when you first got together with Michael Schenker for
Yeah.
Macaulay Schenker. Now, well, two things. One was you wrote pretty much all the lyrics for that album, correct?
Yes, for everything.
For perfect
Yeah.
timing.
Yes.
Now, was all that stuff written beforehand? Were these songs that you had kind of in a file, or is this something that you had put together at the time that you got together with Michael?
Oh, no, 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 no. Even with Black Swan and even with solo stuff, I don't have discarded lyrics lying around, because if I do, it means they weren't good enough for something else, and they're certainly not good enough for now. That's how I kind of look at it. So trash cans full of stuff that's discarded. Don't leave it. Don't have a book of words. Don't have a book of wisdom. Don't have any of that lying around. Come to perfect timing with Michael. It was a brand new thing. He wanted a partner in crime. The label, the management wanted Michael Schenker to break daytime American rock radio. And to do that, they needed a sound that was current American rock radio, and a little bit of pressure, really, because it was like, what are we supposed to do? Right by numbers here? Um, and so uh, we just started writing from scratch. In actual fact, the God's honest truth is, I relocated from London to Hanover in the north of Germany. So when I went into work with Michael, it was, I would say, 90% of the time, 18 inches of snow on the ground. And we got on a tram every day, and we went to our rehearsal room. Um, and we treated it like a real job. We spent 6 to 8 hours every single day. And our game plan was, let's see if we can at least write the semblance of a full song day to day. Big task. And we had a little 4-track Tascam at the time. And
Classic.
so, yeah, so we lost nothing, and all going down on cassette, right? And we compiled enough songs whereby we took those songs to Rudolf Schenker. And Rudolf had his home studio, and we would take them to Rudolf, and Rudolf would say, yeah, I think maybe a little change here, a little change there. Sounds great. Let's demo it. Let's put it down. Let's put it rough. We put all of that together, just Michael and myself. And we got that off to the label, different labels, and EMI jumped on it. EMI picked up and said they wanted to sign us. It was already determined long before that. I was singer number 17 in a list of auditions. Um, and I think it was about a week later, Michael himself called me and he says, "Oh, the management, who was also Aerosmith's management, Ted Nugent's management, that managed Michael at the time, Lever Krebs, and then they had Rock Sound management. Um, Michael said, well, Klaus sat with the tapes, Rudolph sat with the tapes, management sat with the tapes, I sat with the tapes, and everybody goes, I think maybe this guy here." And he goes, "I laughed because you refused to join me 4 years ago when I came to see you at Grand Prix," which was true. And I said, "I didn't refuse to join you. You wanted me to come to the rehearsal room. Um, because you needed a singer and you liked what you heard at the Grand Prix." And I said, I distinctly told Cozy Powell, God rest his soul, because it was Cozy's people that called me. And I said, "Michael wants you in the studio tomorrow." And I said, "Tomorrow I'll be on a tour bus with Grand Prix opening up for Sammy Hagar on the Standing Hampton tour." So I'm not, what am I going to just walk away from the band? And I got so much bad press. Who the hell does this Irish upstart think he is, refusing to join Michael Schenker? So when Rudolph mentioned it, Michael goes, he refused to join me 4 years and he's probably not going to do it now. And Far Corporation had major success when we did the
Hmm.
remake of Stairway to Heaven. And that's where Rudolph heard it. Rudolph heard it on the radio, and he heard it on the radio because you couldn't get it off the radio. It was a huge hit at the radio. I think in the UK we sold about 2.5 million singles in 1985, something ridiculous. Album was like top 40 or something, and so they tracked me down somewhere in the UK when I was out doing promo for Far Corporation, and it was kind of this. I know this sounds a little pompous. It's not meant to be. I was just busy. My head was not in that space. Um, and they said, "Well, we happen to know that next weekend you have the whole weekend off because we talked to the record label." And I'm thinking, really? You got nothing better to do? And they said, "We could fly you in Saturday night, um, straight to the studio. Can we work all day Sunday, Monday if we have time, and then you can go back about your business." And it says, "Can you just do that for us?" So Rudolph and Michael picked me up from the airport, straight to Rudolph's studio, where we worked till about 3 in the morning. Came in on the Sunday, did more of the same, and I left in a very snowy Monday morning back to London. I remember it so clearly. And Michael was supposed to pick me up and take me to the airport, and he was AWOL, and I spoke no German. And I had to ask the hotel, "How do I get to the train station?" And I made my own way to the airport. And for some reason, Michael met me at the airport and he goes, very clever. You don't speak yes, the German language. And here you are. And I went, "Well, north, south, east, west, I'll get there eventually." And he was super impressed that somehow I had the fortitude to, how do I get to, of course, little do people know that the Germans speak better English than we do. Right? So it really wasn't that difficult, get
Just
up
one
the
of those
class.
things they're just trying to mess with you. That's all. Just let's see how far he's going to go. Let's see.
Yeah. So they pointed me in the right direction and I made it to the airport ahead of Michael. And, as I said, the next week he calls and he said, "Hey, I want to change the name of the band. I'd always liked the MSG logo. We were label mates on Chrysalis.
Hmm.
Grand Prix was Chrysalis, MSG was Chrysalis, Michael Schenker Group." And I said, he said, I really want you to be my partner, 50-50. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh my God. Yeah. What were we thinking about with that hair?
That's awesome. It's awesome.
I think there were crows nesting in there.
A possible fire hazard. I'm thinking, huh?
There's no question about it. I could tell you a story about the fire hazard, a
Oh,
true
please,
story.
please.
True story. So anyway, the name got changed. It wasn't my idea. It was Michael's idea. It was Michael's idea. So at some point in the next year, Easter comes along, and I have, of course, all my sisters in London. You know, um, so I had some time down. I went to London, and it is Easter weekend, and good Irish Catholic. We're going to church. Hair is still big, you know, no standout here in the church, right? And my niece Leona was with me, my sister Margot, and off we went. And it was in the Catholic religion, it was Holy Saturday night or Passover, people would call it. And everybody comes outside of the church. We light the Paschal fire. We take the lighted candle and we walk into the dark church, right? The light into the dark, into the light. And so I'm in the church. I have my missalette in one hand and I have my lighted candle in the other hand, and my hair is about 2 feet across on the top, and my niece is to my left, and my sister is on the other side, and I get a twitch in my nose. You know where this is going, right?
Yes.
And in those days, when you had hair that big, something had to hold it together, and I think we used to use this called stiff stuff, and man, you could go, and it would never move, and it was like concrete, right? So I'm in there, I get a twitch, and I'm going, gotta get this twitch. And so I went, and as I did, I'm forgetting, lighted can, took the whole side of my head out. And the smell of burning hair in a darkened church on a Saturday night at Easter, right? You can imagine. And I was, shh, and I was like beating the crap out of my head. My niece, as opposed to beating the crap out of my head simultaneously, just starts laughing. And as she's laughing, I'm laughing. And if you're in a space where it's inappropriate to be sniggering or laughing, what happens? You laugh more. So we were going, right? And my sister is so pissed off at this point. And she's going, shh, the hell do you think you are? And so, yes, speaking of a fire hazard, that actually did happen. And the smell of burning hair in the church on Holy Saturday night was probably a memory that will never leave me. And my niece always brings it up because it was just a moment in time. It was perfect timing, or not. Yeah. So,
I had a barbecue blow up on me once, so I won't do that whole story. But yeah, I lost it. I lost a chunk. But yeah, that's scary stuff. But I think we could maybe turn that portion of the broadcast into a public service announcement of.
you know what? You know what? I'm not sure if they should have barred that kind of hairspray. Yeah, but I don't mind telling stories like that because it's real. It did happen. It did happen. I just, I think I just reduced the I reduced
Yeah,
the width of the hair after.
accidentally on purpose, maybe.
Oh, maybe yes, there was, there's a reason for everything.
Yes, there is.
A reason for everything, yeah. So yeah, so off went McAuley Schenker. We came to the States. We got our daytime radio, we got our MTV, we got our VH1. We toured with Rush, of course. Um, and we toured with Whitesnake, we toured with Leopard, and we got a good shot at it, but I think we were maybe, as I like to use the analogy, I think we were maybe a day late and a penny short. I think had we been 6 months to 12 months earlier with it, maybe I think we may have stood a better chance because anytime came out as a single, I think it sat at like on the AOR charts waiting for that crossover for weeks and weeks and weeks. And not to not to complain here, but we were distributed. EMI was our mother label out of Cologne in Germany, and then we came out of Capital here in the States.
Mhm.
John Kolodner was over at Geffen Records. John Kolodner came to me personally, and as an aside, he goes, "This is a number one record. I hope Capital doesn't mess up here. This is a number one record in my opinion." Bonnie Raitt was on Capital, and we were out on tour with Great White. Poison were out, Capital, and Capital put the brakes on all of the promo for all of those bands because Bonnie Raitt got the nod for like
Mm.
4 nominations for Grammys, and they basically poured all of their efforts, quite rightly so, because she's amazing. I'm not taking anything from her. I'm just relating the circumstances, and so we all suffered, and us especially, because the brakes went on, and what looked like an easy crossover now didn't happen.
Well,
And
I think you're exactly
timing,
right. Yeah.
Timing is everything. Timing is so important. And had that happened at that time, we probably would have been off to the races and would have been headlining tours as opposed to being opening. But it didn't happen. And so that's where we ended up. And then we came out with Save Yourself, and then we came out with the third studio record. Uh, by the third studio record, we had the great James Kotak on drums and Jeff Pilson on bass, which is where our relationship began. Um, and then, of course, it was 91, 92. And by 94, grunge came out of Seattle, and the rest we know. And then that was followed by alternative music. So anything that was classic rock, um, that bag was now put very high up on the shelf so nobody could reach it for a very long time. But you know what comes around goes around, right?
But I think you're very accurate with saying that 6 months to even 12 months time is different, and it's not even so much
Crucial.
even with even the grunge, which that's another topic I feel. But even still, even in 87, 88, or into just cracking into 1990, if you weren't there, it's kind of hard to perhaps really truly understand how that little bit of time meant massive.
Crucial.
Like it was huge.
Absolutely, absolutely crucial. Absolutely crucial. And of course, if you remember, like I do very clearly, if you remember back, at the punk explosion, every A&R guy that was worth his can of beans wanted to sign what he thought was the next best punk band. And I could sit here with you and I go, give me only five punk bands that stand out above everybody else that really made the grade. I can give you the Sex Pistols, and I can give you the Stranglers, and I can give you. I'm lost. There's a couple of more, but
Hormones, I guess.
yes. But now you get to grunge, and I can give you Soundgarden, and I can give you Pearl Jam, and I can give you Nirvana, which weren't grunge; they were more leading at coming in on the alternatives at the very end. So there wasn't as many grunge slash alternative slash earlier punk bands that had the same staying power as the classic rock bands, from your Priest to your Maiden to your Sabbaths to your Zeppelins to your just keep going, you know, and still are going. And the music is as relevant now as it ever was. In fact, most of those grunge bands took their cues from the likes of Zeppelin and Sabbath and all of that stuff. So I think we were just hovering in the background, grazing like old dinosaurs, till the till the time came around, and then we came back
Well,
out of the.
you brought it full circle. It's being stubborn and persevering, and like I keep saying, you've put out some of your most brilliant material in the last number of years. I'm so looking forward to Soulbound on February 28th, but people should also check these albums out because they're just great too. I'm so happy that you're going to be having the chance to do some solo shows on your own. That is absolutely great as well.
Thanks,
Have
JJ.
Monsters of Rock cruise happening. You've got the Frontiers Festival in April happening in Italy, correct? In Italy.
Yes, yes, in Milan.
And then
Yeah.
you're heading to Mexico for solo dates. This is just brilliant. So I'm so happy for you. So pleased to have Robin McAuley on Different Stages Radio.
Thank you very, very much. It's been a pleasure. I talk too much, so I apologize for that.
All good.